The Chicago Sky fired their head coach, Teresa Weatherspoon, a move that had my entire timeline saying what.
The Chicago Sky fired their head coach, Teresa Weatherspoon, a move that had everyone on my timeline saying, "What just happened?" The locker room was in turmoil. Some players were in tears, others in disbelief, and some secretly relieved. Weatherspoon, who had only coached the team for a single challenging season, was out. But as the dust settles, the question remains, was this a hasty decision or a much-needed change? The answer lies in a story of missed opportunities, player tensions, lots of stat padding, and a shocking statistic on player safety that sent ripples across the WNBA. As we dig deeper into Weatherspoon's journey from WNBA legend to controversial.
A lot of people, when you're going through a lot of things, just kind of throw the towel in. But that's not something this team did. We played hard all the time.
We uncover the reasons behind her surprising dismissal. We'll explore the alleged disconnect between Weatherspoon and her players and how it might have derailed the Sky's season.
Relationship that she built with Angel Reese and with Camila Cardoso, to have your two young stars vocally bought into you as the coach and then to move on from you without even giving you more than one single season to try to get it right, it just doesn't sit well with me.
But that's not all. An astonishing WNBA statistic involving Caitlin Clark adds more context to the whole situation. Throughout all of this, the team kept fighting, even when things seemed grim, refusing to throw in the towel. The consequences of this firing could send shockwaves throughout the entire league, affecting rising stars like Camila Cardoso, Jennedy Carter, and even Angel Reese. The future of the Chicago Sky is now uncertain, and we're about to break down everything you need to know.
It's got to go the length of the floor. Teresa Weatherspoon.
And when I let it go, I watched that ball go, which it took like 30 minutes.
I looked up at the ball and I'm like, well, that looks like it's gonna go in.
The shot went up. I was standing under the basket and I said, you know what? That looks like it's going in.
At the buzzer, a three. Oh, she put it in. She put it in. And the Liberty win game 2.
But before we dive into it, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Let's get into it. The relationship Weatherspoon had built with Angel Reese and Camila Cardoso was key, having two young stars fully bought into the coach. And then, just after one season, she's let go? That doesn't sit right with me. As the Sky's future now hangs in the balance, let's take a step back and look at how Teresa Weatherspoon went from being a WNBA darling to a controversial figure in just one season. Weatherspoon's career as a player was one of greatness. A 5-time WNBA All-Star and 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, she led the New York Liberty to 4 WNBA Finals appearances. One of her most iconic moments came in the 1999 Finals, with a half-court buzzer beater that remains one of the most memorable plays in WNBA history. Her transition into coaching seemed like a natural fit. After gaining experience as a player development coach with the New Orleans Pelicans, she was hired as the head coach of the Chicago Sky in October 2023. The move was met with excitement from both fans and players who hoped Weatherspoon's winning mentality would help elevate the team. Unfortunately, the reality of her first season with the Sky didn't live up to the hype. From the start, the team faced several challenges: a lack of draft assets due to previous trades, injuries to key players, and a lack of chemistry. But despite these challenges, there were bright spots, especially with young talent like Camila Cardoso. However, as the season went on, it became clear that the team's foundation was crumbling.
You know, you want to take advantage of time. And if you have the opportunity to come together, you want to take advantage of that, especially when you're young, especially when you're a young team and you want to gain a little bit more chemistry, a little more continuity, a little more cohesiveness, a little more understanding of one another. It's big to take advantage of that time. And possibly that could be something that now will be, you'll see a lot more of it, which is big.
The Sky finished with a disappointing 13-27 record, missing the playoffs for the first time since 2018. This decline raised questions about Weatherspoon's ability to transition from player to coach. The mid-season trade of Marina Mary, a reliable three-point shooter and defender, further disrupted the team's rhythm. While Mary never fully explained why she requested a trade,
much about coaching is managing personalities, and the toughest personalities I think to manage would be those that run.
It seemed likely that she saw the early signs of turmoil in the Sky locker room. Without her shooting, the Sky's offense lacked spacing, which led to a disjointed approach that often emphasized individual stats over team success. Stat padding, anyone? As the losses piled up, rumors of tension between Weatherspoon and her players started circulating.
Very definition of stat padding. You are down by 22 points, and you've got the Fever's bench player, bench player, bench player, bench player, bench player, playing against bench player, bench player, bench player, bench player, starter, just so that she can get her double-double.
To the post for a rookie in a single season. She's going for it, dribbling off the joy, spins, bucket is good. 23 double-doubles of the season. Another rookie record for Reese.
Exit interviews revealed frustration over communication breakdowns and tactical decisions. What was once a promising partnership between Weatherspoon and the Chicago Sky now seemed to have fallen apart in record time. Weatherspoon's coaching experience, although extensive at the collegiate level, hadn't prepared her for the complexities of managing a professional team. The Sky's roster had gone through several changes since their 2021 championship run, and the balance of veteran leadership and player development was a challenge that Weatherspoon couldn't overcome. As the season progressed, a troubling trend emerged. Players were putting up career-high numbers, yet the team's win column remained stagnant. The Sky's 2023 to 2024 season became a study in contrasts. Individual successes, but a team that couldn't pull together for the greater good. Was this the result of Weatherspoon's coaching priorities?
I actually don't have an answer for you, but this was embarrassing, so I really hope we figure out what was wrong and go back to the court tomorrow, practice, or do whatever we gotta do and fix it for our next road game.
Stat padding became an issue during a blowout loss when players seemed more focused on personal milestones than team success. Angel Reese, a rookie, became the league's leading rebounder, while Cardoso flashed brilliance throughout the season. However, questions started to arise about whether individual achievements were coming at the expense of the team's performance. Following the trade of Marina Mary, the team's record spiraled downward. Without her three-point shooting, the cohesion de Bear Sky struggled to maintain offensive flow.
Third 30-point game of the season. And in enemy territory gets this kind of salute as she exits the game.
Game footage from later in the season revealed a team that often relied on isolation plays and forced shots, rather than fluid ball movement. While these moments sometimes resulted in individual highlight plays, they rarely led to victories. Tension between Weatherspoon and her players only increased, with growing frustration about communication and tactics. This frustration bubbled over in exit interviews, with players openly questioning the coach's ability to lead effectively. Despite personal successes, the team couldn't find a way to close out close games, a hallmark of cohesive, disciplined teams. As these issues mounted, Weatherspoon's future with the Sky became increasingly uncertain. The front office ultimately decided that the trade-off between individual accolades and team success was too steep. With player safety concerns rising, particularly surrounding Caitlin Clark, the decision was made to fire Weatherspoon after just one season. Clark, who had
Kennedy Carter now with 12 points off the bench. And
been lighting up scoreboards across the league, became an unintended target of a disturbing trend in Chicago. The Indiana Fever superstar had shattered 62 records during her debut season, but her historic campaign exposed a concerning statistic. A shocking 17.7% of flagrant fouls in the WNBA were committed against her, with 80% of those coming from the Chicago Sky. This raised alarms about player safety and the leadership of Weatherspoon. Clark's style was all about finesse, relentless hustle, pinpoint passing, and sharp shooting, yet Chicago seemed to resort more to aggressive, physical play. Game footage showed a disturbing pattern of hard fouls against Clark, including one where Angel Reese from the bench clapped in approval of the physical play against her. The targeting of Clark became a serious issue, and it called into question Weatherspoon's ability to control her team's behavior. As a former Defensive Player of the Year, Weatherspoon knew how to play tough, but the line between tough defense and dangerous aggression seemed to blur under her watch. The contrast between Clark's finesse and the Sky's increasingly physical tactics led to concerns about the team's reputation. Not only did this put players at risk, but it could also alienate fans who came to watch skillful, high-level basketball, not roughhouse tactics. More concerning was that this aggressive behavior was directed at one of the league's brightest young stars, Caitlin Clark. The decision to fire Weatherspoon came down to player safety concerns, poor performance, and the inability to control her team's behavior on the court. With mounting pressure from fans, the media, and potentially the league itself, the Sky had no choice but to make a change. The dismissal sent shockwaves through the league, with Angel Reese expressing her disappointment on social media. Reese, who had joined the Sky because of Weatherspoon's influence on her career, was vocal about her feelings on the decision. As the Sky now find themselves at a crossroads, the organization must figure out how to balance individual player development with team success. The next coach will need to walk a fine line between fostering growth and fostering unity. What does the future hold for the Sky? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss out. Watch the next video on the screen, and we'll see you in the next one.